folks, it's Mike from the Pen Outpost. Continuing down the TWSBI path that we started on our last video. Next one up, TWSBI Blue. This one should be pretty quick. There's not too much to discuss about this. From my test swab, it's a pretty traditional blue. I don't think it's particularly wet. I'll pull a couple of quick comparisons so we can see what it looks like. But I don't think it does anything super special. Although I did put that down heavier this time than I did the last time for my test swab. So we'll see how that turns out. Looks like that's about done. So the same thing happened on this one that happened on my test swab, which is just the tiniest bit of sheen. There's a little bit right there. There's a little bit right there. And there's a tiny bit on the top and the bottom of that little heavy spot at the bottom. So I don't know if I'd consider this a sheening ink. Some blues just do this, and I don't see any. Well, there's a little tiny bit along that really dark spot along the top, but it's not something that I would say you can rely on the sheen. And this was my original test swab, and you can see the same thing. There's a little bit there and a little bit there and a tiny little bit down there. But it was harder to find a match to this color than I thought it was going to be. So what I pulled was, I got an old Namiki swab. I need to redo this one. So that's relatively close. That'll probably darken up as I when I do the new swab to it, because I do them a little differently than I used to. But I also pulled Bernanke Blue, and it's in the same color range. This is a little bit brighter, but yeah, there's not a lot of blues in this exact hue, which I found interesting. None of the Iroshizukus were anywhere near that, and out of all of the Noodlers, this was the closest. Regular Noodlers Blue was a little close, but this is the closest. Those two are all, out of everything I have swabbed at the moment, which is about 400 and something. Those are the closest I could find. So there you go, TWSBI Blue. Tiny bit of red sheen, nice medium blue. A little on the wet side, but I would not call it a wet ink. It just happens to write a little bit wet. Like it seems like most of these TWSBI inks so far that I have tested have written a little bit on the wet side. I mean, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd call it a 5 or a 6 maybe on wet scale. So not crazy wet, but anyway, TWSBI Blue, nice color. 3 milliliter sample, 70 milliliter bottle. The Pen Outpost on eBay and thepenoutpost.com. Thanks for watching.